Welcome to our webinar, Ace Your Impact Finance Application, where we will be exploring the process of applying to an Impact Finance executive education program here at the University of Oxford's Said Business School. This webinar will last for about 30 minutes, hopefully with time at the end to answer any of the questions that you drop in the Q&A section. So if you do have any questions, please drop them in there. And we will try to answer them live for you. So we'll just give it a few minutes. There we go. So during the webinar, we are going to cover several points, mainly around the Impact Finance Program team, program suitability, an application checklist for you, what the interview process looks like, any program paths to help you on your learning journey, and upcoming programs, as well as Q&A. So we will also walk through some of the common questions asked by applicants. And so please be aware that this webinar will be recorded and you will be made available. It will be made available within the next week. So if you want to revisit any of these options or any of these points and you're not really sure, a recording will be sent out to you as well as added to our YouTube playlist. So we'll give it a few more minutes. There's still some people joining before I go into our introductions. So firstly, if you are joining us today here, I'd like to hope that you are thinking of joining one of our Impact Finance programs. So hopefully this session will ease any concerns about hitting the apply button. So my name is Tennille Ballard, and I'm one of the program consultants currently supporting the Oxford Impact Measurement Program, the Oxford Sustainable Business Program, and the Impact Finance Innovations Program, among others. So all of which are due to run once more in 2025. The Impact Investing Program is also part of this portfolio and is supported by my colleague and sales manager, Carrie Reed. So Carrie, would you like to say hello?
Thanks so much, Janelle, and hello and welcome to everyone joining us today. Thanks so much for taking the time. As Janelle mentioned, I lead our Impact Investing Programme, among other programmes in the wider executive education portfolio. Our team is here to help you decide which programme is the best option and if this is the right time for you to join. So please keep a note of our contact details and our LinkedIn's. We're always happy to help.
So one of the biggest concerns from applicants is program suitability. So this slide will give you a sort of overview of who we are generally looking for each of these programs. For impact investing, you'll look at how to create and implement an impact investing strategy and develop a theory of change. So though you may be new to the impact space and used to more traditional finance, you would need at least 10 years minimum of professional experience, which is required, with at least 5 years as a senior leader. So even if you don't have experience in the impact space, this would be a good fit for you if you're looking to transition. So other sectors other than finance are welcome. But making investment decisions, advising C-suite stakeholders, or working adjacent to this is preferable. But we do still want diversity in each cohort from various sectors. So if you're working parallel to it or advising or consulting, that is also suitable. For sustainable business, you will deep dive into how to proactively turn sustainability goals to strategic advantage. So again, 10 years and over of professional experience is required, although you can come from a variety of sectors. So this program is for leaders tasked with delivering on net zero and sustainability commitments, and senior executives looking to develop new business models that turn sustainability to competitive advantage. So the Oxford Measurement Program helps you to describe your impact goals, measure using established and emerging approaches, and inform decision-making, strategy, and planning. So again, 10 years professional experience is required as a minimum. But this one has a very specific, you would need at least 5 years experience working in the impact space, which is preferable, and at least 2 to 5 years of monitoring and evaluation experience as a senior leader. So anything where you have experience in impact measurement and management, you would need at least 2 to 5 years, because this is not a course for beginners. This can also come from a variety of sectors, preferably working in or adjacent to finance and investment teams. So the last program is Impact Finance Innovations, which explores the next generation of impact deal and fund structures, as well as novel approaches to using emerging technologies to approach impact measurement and management. So once more, 10 years professional experience is required as a minimum, preferably working in the finance sector with at least 5 years experience of allocating capital for impact. So this is really key for this program, and it is quite advanced in impact investing. 2 or more years experience working with innovative finance structures is also preferable. But as long as you have that 5 years experience as a leader allocating capital for impact, you will have an opportunity to be successful. So there are many reasons why you may want to join a program. So hopefully these typical profiles of participants taking our impact programs will give you some insights as to whether a program will be a right fit for you. All of these programs are for senior leaders and for managers and directors that are looking to lead their teams. So if you're thinking about applying and you're looking at the program suitability, but you still have questions, please do reach out to us. Absolutely drop some questions in the Q&A, and we can hopefully answer those for you as we go forward. But we can talk through each program in more depth to see if it's the best fit for your objectives and whether it is the right time for you to join with us. So now let's run through the application checklist, which has top tips to consider ahead of submitting your application. So first steps, I would certainly update your LinkedIn and your CV. We tend to use LinkedIn quite a lot, so it's a really good starting point for us. So think about how the program is going to align with your goals and objectives. If you're unsure, absolutely reach out to us for a virtual call to either myself or Carrie if you want to clarify some questions and requirements for each specific program. So be clear on how you are funding the program, or if you've confirmed your participation with your employer. So now you're ready to submit your application after you've gone through those checkpoints. But before you click that submit button, check for grammar and punctuation and spelling mistakes, because first impressions are important. So when answering the application questions, give clear examples of how the program relates to your current role, responsibilities, and company objectives. Provide clear contact information with your preferred email address and contact number, as well as full and accurate invoice details. If you enter things like TBC or you don't know, it's probably best to contact us first to discuss this information, but it may actually delay your application and decision letter. So make sure that you include your LinkedIn profile or attach a CV if it's preferable, but keep your CV to a 2-page minimum. So make it concise. So once you've submitted your application and hopefully you've been successful in securing an interview, this part of the process is important because during your interview, we will be able to have an in-depth conversation to really understand exactly why you feel the program is a good fit for you at this time. So be prepared to expand on what you've written in your application. Do your research. Don't just repeat what you've read in the brochure. Lastly, you will only have 30 minutes, so be concise and come with questions prepared. I think the best piece of advice to take away from this is that preparation is key. So application outcomes can feel kind of daunting, especially with cohorts limited to between 35 and 45 participants with our short executive education programs, with some of these programs only running once a year. So our goal is to carefully select the best cohorts and curate the cohorts to ensure that you gain the maximum benefit from your experience. So during, once that interview is taken place, or is booked in, be on time. If you have technical issues, contact our team immediately or in advance to reschedule, or to let us know that you're having technical issues, and we can maybe switch from Zoom to Teams or something like that, for example. Think about key questions like, how did you find the program? Why do you think it's a good fit for you? Why do you think you're a good fit for the cohort? Can you commit to the immediate payment terms? Do you need a visa letter? So if successful, we will issue an acceptance letter via email. However, if you're not successful, we will always try to match you with a more suitable program or give you recommendations for your learning journey to join us at a later date. We always want you to succeed. So if you do secure a place on the program, please read your acceptance letters carefully as it serves as your contract and with the university. So pay particular attention to the terms and conditions which outline points such as what to do if you need to transfer or cancel your place on the program, and any fees this may incur if specific deadlines aren't met. We understand that funding can be a sensitive issue because your intent may be to present your acceptance letter to your employer or a third-party sponsor to secure the funding required. So if you are being sponsored, I would encourage you to include your organization or your sponsor in the discussions as part of the pre-application process, especially so that all parties are prepared for our immediate payment terms. So a limited number of partial scholarships are available for some of these programs, offering up to 50% off the tuition fees. So this can provide an opportunity for talented individuals like yourselves who would otherwise not have the funding available to participate. We understand sometimes you come from startups or companies that have small teams or small budgets. So scholarship recipients should be working full-time and funded by an aid or development agency, a non-governmental organization, social enterprise, or other organizations that fit in the not-for-profit sector. So to be considered, you would need to attach a 500-word statement along with your application answering the following. So how will you, your organization, and the community you serve benefit from participating in this program? What value and unique perspective will you bring to the program? Why is the scholarship essential for you to attend? So candidates will be shortlisted based on demonstrated need for the scholarship in the application essay. So due to the limited number of scholarships available, which is usually a maximum of 5, the decision will be competitive and the admissions committee will be unable to provide further feedback. If you feel that that criteria slightly applies to you, my advice is to just apply. You never know what's gonna come through, and we would always encourage you to submit the application rather than being hesitant on those questions. But we're always happy to answer those questions in a call as well. So if you wish to send more than 3 people from your organization, we do also offer a 15% corporate discount. So it is preferable that all applicants are from different departments and can be invoiced as one. However, that can change depending on what your requirements are, and we're happy to be flexible for that. So many of these programs can be taken in conjunction with the others if you wish to continue your learning journey. So these topics, because they're so interrelated, they have a lot of crossover. So here are a few paths that many of our alumni have taken, which may be suitable for you depending on your personal or organizational objectives. So if you wish to apply for multiple programs in one go, we may also be able to offer you a discount when invoiced together. So again, if you're uncertain or your team, our team is here to help. So please reach out to us if you're not sure where you should start or which program combination is right for you. It will be purely based on what your immediate goals are and where you'd like to take your journey going forward. So here are the dates for the 2025 iterations of our impact finance programs. So scanning this QR code will take you to our open programs application portal. You can save your progress at any point and return to it later. So take your time, consider your application details carefully. If you wish to find out more about our program directors or hear from alumni on the ground, you can find exclusive insights on our YouTube playlist. This is very useful for very specific topics or to get to know what kind of people are going to be in the room and what the program directors are keen to discuss when you're with us. So as you can see, we have a wide range of common questions from applicants. So if any of these have sprung to mind, you aren't alone. One of the most common questions I hear is, will I fit into the cohort? Will there be others from my part of the world? So at Oxford, we place a strong emphasis on diversity. Our cohorts are truly global, representing not only a balance of genders, but also participants from every continent and a wide range of sectors. So we design our programs to foster diverse perspectives, enabling you to reflect critically and gain the fullest experience possible during your time with us. So a typical cohort has over 25 different nationalities. They may come from 10 or more different sectors and typically come from almost every continent. What they will all have in common is their level of senior leadership experience. Our executive education programs require that 10-year minimum professional experience, as well as the 5 or more years in a senior management or C-suite role. So some programs, such as the impact measurement, may have additional requirements, such as the 5 years or more in impact measurement or monitoring and evaluation, etc. 4 to 6 weeks before program commencement, you will be onboarded to an online platform, which will have faculty, speaker, and cohort introductions and bios, as well as any pre-reading or questionnaires to better tailor our workshops to your specific cohort needs. There isn't an exam at the end. However, brief 5-minute group presentations are not uncommon on the last day. So it's important to be fully present during the week and out of the office to get the most out of your experience. At the end, you will be issued with a certificate of completion. So if this is your first time in Oxford, many programs will provide opportunities like walking tours as an optional evening event. Oxford is not a large city, so it's easy to navigate by foot, and I highly suggest you explore if you have a free time. There are many beautiful things around the city, hidden gems. But Oxford, like much of the UK, experiences a temperate sort of maritime climate with mild, wet winters and cold, damp summers. So as rain can happen year-round, I would suggest layers such as cardigans and scarves, a light or medium weight jacket, and an umbrella, as we often get mild and misty rain showers with a mix of sunny spells, but the weather can shift quite quickly. Oxford's weather is highly changeable, so dressing in layers really helps to stay comfortable throughout the day. So do we have any questions in the Q&A that we can quickly answer? Let's have a quick look. So if anybody has any questions they'd like to put in there, I'll just give it a few seconds. Okay. So it doesn't look like we have any questions at the moment, which is perfectly fine. Obviously, if you've not had a chance to put it in there, put any questions in our Q&A, or they haven't sprung to mind at this point, Our contact details are now available on the screen, so please write them down and get in touch if you'd like further information on a specific impact program or to schedule in a virtual one-to-one call.
Thank you, Tanil, and just wanted to say to everyone, thank you again for taking the time to join us today for this webinar in support of executive education impact finance programs at the business school. I could just see one question that's popped up in regards to transferring in a family emergency, for example. Yeah, absolutely. Just keep in contact with us, and we can offer future dates. Just be conscious that depending on time, there may be some fees, but where there's kind of family emergencies, just talk to us and we can be flexible. So yeah, absolutely. There's always a way. And we're kind of want you to experience Oxford. So whether that be 1 year or the next, then that's absolutely fine. But as I mentioned, we're always very happy to help, and we hope to welcome you to Oxford as one of our upcoming cohorts. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we wish you a peaceful holiday season as well. Thank you so much.